the moment everyone has been begging for. Merch is being released next week for our 2nd year anniversary. Time flies when you are sexy, young, and free. Take a look. Let me know if you like anything. Actually, don't let me know. I don't want to know.
They have that too.
I probably gave it to you.
No, I have a sore throat too.
Oh, really? From what?
Giving head last night.
Right.
Oh, to yourself, because you went to your room alone and you fell asleep after giving yourself head.
Yeah, you got a couple ribs removed.
Yeah.
Wow, you have been looking really skinny.
Yeah, I have a snatched waist. I got my ribs removed like Marilyn Manson.
Yeah.
And it's actually really, really special.
Is that real? Did he actually do that? No, he didn't.
Yeah, that's why he's wearing that hoodie. It's like covering up. He has a lot of
yeah.
bandages and
Damn,
stuff.
so
It's like a really sensitive
I'm covering it up
subject.
with this hoodie that is Emergency Intercom merch that is out July 7th.
Probably.
Yeah,
we have no
I'm
idea
wearing
what this
it too as well.
Yeah.
we handmade this for Orion.
It's like
for
the
today's...
coquette version.
Yeah.
Exactly.
My girls know me. So.
Yeah, so we had to get her right. Also, we did an intro, but welcome back to Emergency Intercom. Long-awaited guest. Very long-awaited guest.
The most asked for person by a fucking landslide by Fleetwood Mac on the episode today, which is really crazy. Orion.
They had to fight
Carlotto.
tooth and nail for this.
I know, literally.
We really did. And you know what it is, too, is even this is just annoying, but I'm like, I don't want them to see how well we get along. Like, does that make sense?
No,
Like,
I know, exactly. Like, you're getting too much of me right now, and it's terrifying to be perceived.
So, like, keep that in
way.
mind.
No, actually, don't. Don't.
No,
I need a reality check.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You need to be humbled.
At this point in my life, I need a major one.
Don't ask for that, because to be funny, people will be like, okay, fine. And
Yeah,
then be
no,
like,
I actually don't mean
like
that.
to be the
I
top
don't
comment.
mean that.
Yeah,
I
no.
actually don't mean that.
Once you finish watching this, act like you've never seen Orion and like you've never heard her voice ever
Exactly.
again.
Yeah, thank you.
Exactly.
Have you done a podcast before? Yeah,
Yeah, I have, but like
With a normal person.
A serious
with
one?
normal people where they're asking me very like serious questions. So when even like thinking about this, I'm like, fuck, like here I go.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay, well, I have a serious question for you.
Okay.
Was that your first love?
Actually,
Why does it always have to go here? Like, okay, no, go. I want
like, well, if I'm being honest, and it might hurt your feelings, no.
Okay, wow.
It's
Oh my god.
It's her.
Put him in.
Wow.
It's and you don't understand. Actually, no. If we're being realistic here, Drew low-key was.
I was gonna bring
Like,
that story
low-key
up.
was.
I was gonna bring that story up.
Okay. Oh wait.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all talking about playlist? Or
Or
what was it?
It was
VidCon
like
or something.
VidCon or something. Yeah.
I'll let you start.
Oh.
I go.
From your point of view,
Okay.
yeah.
From my point of view, I only knew Drew from the online sphere, and I never had met him in person. And he had walked in the room. We were all in like a hotel like party, and there weren't that many people.
No,
there were
it
like
was,
enough people to be embarrassed by the situation, but like it wasn't like filled to the brim.
Also, it was like the first time like I have ever seen other people on the internet that I like kind of look up to.
Yeah.
Like I walked into this room and I was like, holy shit, like there's like Ricky and Denzel in here and like blah 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 blah. Like these are people that I like love on the internet. And it was
that you like see on the internet.
So fucking jarring, but keep going.
Anyway, Drew walked in and he's a new face. I hadn't seen him before. And you just looked so shy and so doe-like.
I was.
And it was a precious moment to witness.
Mm-hmm.
And I turned to a friend and I said, oh, Drew's here. He's so cute. And like the friend in question wasn't a real friend for screaming at the top of her lungs. She like Drew passed by and she screams, "Hey Drew, Orion thinks you're really cute."
It was
and
so
Drew,
awful.
like darted away. I was so embarrassed. Like it was so humiliating because like it felt like
Drew like ran.
No, I literally
he
did.
ran, and I'm like stuck in this position where I'm like, no, I did not. Say
You're not
that.
cute. You're not hot. I don't think you're
fully
cute. You're
didn't say
ugly.
that.
Ugly, actually. That's what I wouldn't say that.
No, and then Drew left.
Yeah,
It,
and
like,
like,
it
well,
scared him enough.
she was like, y'all should make out, y'all should kiss right now in front of everybody, like kiss.
This
And
friend
like in my
notoriously
head,
was obsessed with watching people kiss. But that's
and I was like in my head, because I was like, oh, I've never been in this space before. Like I'm like petrified, and then I walk in and I'm immediately like in my head being made fun
a
of.
hot girl calls out to
Well,
you.
then I invited her to my room later. But we won't talk about that.
Tell you about
Yeah.
that.
Oh, y'all.
part.
Okay, wow.
Well, we
I
won't
like,
talk
don't
about
want to
that.
know. The less I know, the better.
No,
Tame
it
Impala.
was sweet. It was
Yeah.
sentimental.
It was a big
and
moment.
It was like something that's kept between us for a reason.
Yeah, I mean, now it's not between y'all. So
I
it's
mean,
like, is it that sentimental? It's probably just like out of necessity, like human nature. It's not even like emotional.
When was the first time
Right.
y'all met?
I don't remember the first time we hung out.
I don't either. Like,
Well,
I feel
in
like
LA, like y'all, I remember there was like a moment.
Oh, I remember
But there
our
was,
first time hanging out in LA. Like
that I remember, but like the very first time we met, I could not even tell you.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you.
I think we
either.
were just in such different worlds.
Yeah.
And even it was probably at a similar situation where like we were in a group of a bunch of people passing like hi, hello. The reason why I don't remember is probably because it's not as traumatizing as
Exactly.
and like
Yeah.
my brain at this point only like remembers the horrible or the really good
It
things
was
in
Yeah.
life.
so bad.
I remember the first time we like had a moment where we were like, "Oh my god, we're like gonna be friends."
I
We're the
agree.
girls.
It was so good. It's because, and I think it was especially good because we didn't like really know each other.
Yeah, because
Like-
we were being put in. We were all on a social media tour when we were younger, and me and Orion started being put in rooms together. But even then, we would not interact. I don't even
No.
remember like. And it's not even like I was like, I don't want to fucking be friends with this girl.
No.
It was literally just
You just had your group of friends. I had my group of friends.
Yeah.
And it was just the convenience of us staying the same
It was
place.
just
Yeah.
the two girls.
It was just the two
yeah,
girls.
it was
Yeah.
the two girls on tour. It's like they're getting the room.
Yeah. and
like,
so-
oh, you're a girl. Like, y'all will get along.
No, totally.
Yeah.
And we did, accidentally, by kismet, Drew left tour.
Yeah, you
forever.
like when you quit.
And so it was Enya and I were there left, and I remember it was like 3 a.m. We were both in our separate beds, and we had like our backs turned from each other. Like, keep in mind, like we didn't really know
We
each
like
other.
literally, I don't think we had ever.
It was
spoken
like college
other than
roommate.
The one time we had spoken before that was when we took that god awful fucking picture because we found out we
was
were
gonna
both
bring up-
Honduran, and we were like,
Dude.
oh my god, like I don't have
Dude,
any Honduran
that is
homegirls.
so
And it's
disgusting.
literally like
We have to
what
show the
people
picture.
been saying on TikTok like canon event. That was our canon
No,
event. Is
fully.
that picture?
And it was like we just met at the stairwell, took a photo, and then it was like, "Okay, bye, see you later."
Yeah.
But
like
I was gonna say, do you remember the fucking picture of you and I? Like the first picture we took together, and it's my giant
hair.
fucking nasty
your
hair,
hair.
like
That was in
gross
Atlanta.
fucking vibe.
I remember that actually. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, just like that trip.
Yeah.
I don't. What city were we in? With
I don't
that-
even know.
I don't even know.
I literally don't know.
Like, do you remember your last one? Like, what city you were in?
No, not at all.
Okay. Well,
It
so we all
might have been
brain
like
damage.
Orlando or some shit like that.
Maybe I don't know. I
Or
literally
maybe
have
it
no
was
idea.
Atlanta.
No,
No, it wasn't
we
Atlanta.
literally all have brain fog because we were being like
Drugged.
and like like baby fed alcohol
Exactly.
to stay on a tour.
That was like our college experience.
Yeah, no,
Exactly.
literally.
But Enya and I was like crying because I was like in a relationship and the person I was dating was being really fucking mean to me. Scary, terrifying. It was like actually purgatory for me.
Yeah.
So I was silently crying because throughout that entire relationship, let's actually just start, I was silently crying. And I hear like Enya also silently crying. And I like turn around and she's like crying into her pillow and I'm also crying into my pillow. And I just like, I think I said something first. I turned to you and I was
Yeah.
like, are you crying right
Yeah,
now?
literally.
Then she's like, yeah. And then I just like got up and went to her bed and like held her.
Yeah, and we
Like,
literally
we
just
didn't know
like,
each other.
We
and
didn't
I
know
just-
each other, and we just sat there and cried together. And it was like,
That
I'm
is
literally
so
about to tear
fucking
up at it. 'Cause I'm like, why
cute.
is that so sweet?
That is literally
also because
so
what's
fucking
crazy
cute.
about it is at the time I was like not an emotionally open person. Like I didn't even cry to you about it. When you left, like I acted all chill. I was like, bye, like.
Dude,
Whatever.
I wasn't emotionally available, and I fucking sobbed on the way to the
Yeah.
airport. I think it was like New Jersey or something because like
Oh,
Probably.
it
I
was
think
it
it
was
was.
because I was with Jake and Dana, and I
Yeah.
was sobbing in the backseat of the car, and they were in the front seat like giving like side eyes to me because like a grown man is crying in the backseat of this car right now. It's like hella awkward, and I was like,
a
I
grown
just
man at 17. Like,
Well, he's still 16.
Yeah.
Well, you just
Oh,
turned
right.
17.
Yeah, exactly,
right.
exactly. But no, it was like that was like the first time I was emotionally available to. But I think it was like New Jersey.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because also, you know what's funny is I just remembered thinking about this. I remember the next morning we did start talking because we started telling each other why we were crying.
Yeah.
And you were explaining your whole situation to me, and you were talking about moving to LA. Because
Yeah.
that was before you had moved to LA, and you were like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I, like, want to do that move.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I'm going to do that move, like, sooner than later. And we were just like, yeah. And we were really talking about it because I had just started seeing someone at the time. So
Yeah.
I was, like, telling you about that. But I just
Wait,
remembered
what
that
were you
conversation we were like
crying over?
getting. Oh,
Crying
because
over you.
since I was crying over you because since I
Fuck
wasn't gonna
you.
see you, I wouldn't get to see your mom's stinky
Her
pussy anymore.
bikini.
Yeah, I wouldn't get to have sex with
Oh,
her stinky
so
vagina.
Enya cried
Yeah, right,
over
right,
me?
right.
Like,
Yeah, it's
oh my
funny because
God.
you just said you were a grown man sobbing in the back of a car
I
with
think
like
you were
two other
also
people.
crying.
I
Oh,
would
and I
not-
got bitches. See, I cried and I got.
Yeah, she got physical
We got
touch.
physical touch.
Yeah.
And it could have escalated
And I got
had
made
I
fun
had not
of.
self-control.
Yeah.
See, this is why.
right.
No, right.
See, this is why men don't cry and shouldn't cry, because I cried and it was embarrassing.
Yeah.
It's funny you consider yourself a man.
Oh wow! I was
'cause
a
I
man
thought-
last night. I was a man last night.
It's funny because I thought you were a man, but you're just a little boy.
Girl, what?
And hunger hurts. Like,
Oh,
That's true.
hunger
my
really
God.
So true.
does fucking hurt. Should we talk about those little escapades a little bit? Not into detail,
Wait,
but the
it's like-
PCH moments.
oh, our PCH vibes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I'm like, what is there to?
Discuss other
Just
than like pure
crying,
despair.
crying,
Oh,
despair,
yeah.
driving up PCH, listening
COVID
to.
literally made all three of us so much closer, and also like me and Orion, I feel like
Oh,
without
yeah.
COVID would not be this close.
Y'all
'Cause
are
we
the
were really
scissor
close.
sisters.
We were hanging out consistently, but I think there was like this emotional level that we couldn't break past.
Yeah.
Because there was just honestly just so much thing surrounding it. There was like shame and fear, and it was just like awkward.
Yeah.
And we also, I mean, I've had really close female friendships before,
But I
you
hadn't.
hadn't.
Yeah.
So it was like trying to navigate that with you was. Honestly, it was hard.
Yeah.
But then, like, you came around.
Yeah,
Like, she
the
came
girl
around.
came around.
You know what it was too? Is I think yeah, it's just I didn't have a lot of I still don't have a lot of close like female relationships. You're definitely the most intimate female relationship I have in my life.
Yeah, neither do I.
And yeah, because you get no bitches, but that's like
Whoa.
separate. It's besides the point. But yeah, I think because of that, it's just I didn't know how to do it. Also, I don't think I was like super emotionally open with the whole friend group, either,
Just
like with
anyone,
anybody,
period. Yeah.
until like late 2019, early 2020, because I just had reached a point where like I was going to therapy so much I could talk. Also, I was like a fucking annoying bitch. Like you literally couldn't talk to me about anything without me being
Yeah.
like, actually,
Yeah,
like,
you
Holier
literally.
than thou.
yeah,
You
I was
had
also,
it
like,
right.
holy. Yeah, I
Yeah.
was literally like, I was just kind of an annoying brat, and then
Life happened, and
Yeah.
that's what
I
happened.
I will
happened
say
when I
though,
grew up.
I do feel like I am probably the only person in your life that can like argue against
Oh my
you.
god, I literally can't. I know what you're talking
No,
about.
I'm not gonna bring
Oh,
that
I
up.
know.
No,
I
we
won't
have to bring it up. We have to bring it up.
But that will argue against you, but you'll like actually listen to me.
yeah, 100%.
Like more
yeah.
so, but so.
Oh my
Sorry.
god, no, literally. So like we went to Texas like for Easter to like see my family, and like we got a hotel room and we were just like there's nothing to do in Granbury, so we were just like mobbing around, hanging out with my family, and then like going to fucking Walmart and shit. And one of the times
Literally,
we
I
went
don't
to
even know why we went there.
just literally to Key because that's what you
Yeah.
do in
We were
Granbury,
bored.
like literally. And like we are like I don't know what y'all are butting heads about, but Enya and Orion.
Dude, we were arguing over the dumbest shit ever.
shit.
Yeah,
and,
it's
like,
not even worth.
I'm not gonna
it's
mention
literally
it,
like
yeah.
Yeah,
it was literally just semantics. Like
yeah.
It was it was solved with a Google search, but even the Google search proved that Enya had to be right.
and
It
you know
was
what's
crazy.
I still am like I'm right, but that's okay. we like
No,
just we
yeah,
moved on.
we
We
moved
moved
on, and
But they were fighting Like I've never seen
You know
anybody in
what it
their
was?
group
Is we
fight
were like
before.
literally debating. We like
It was more of a
wasn't even
debate,
like
yeah.
fighting.
Dude,
it was genuinely like you would have swore one of us was gonna walk away with a fucking Nobel
No.
Peace
Yeah,
Prize.
no,
Like
something about me, like I literally like
Drew
debates.
was like walking with his head down behind us, like
I
really
was
like
so small.
you felt so fucking small. It was insane.
Crazy. And
I was
like
trying not to laugh throughout the whole thing because like I'm like
You
looking
were.
at you. Oh, I was laughing.
yeah, you were
Yeah,
like Drew is so uncomfortable right now, and I was like, yeah, I literally am
totally
so
funny.
scared. My girls are
you know
fighting.
what's awesome is that's also why we were like, wait, okay, we gotta cut this because like
'Cause
this
we're
motherfucker is
making our
literally
son
freaking out.
uncomfortable.
we're
Yeah, literally.
making our child in the car uncomfortable.
like
so
have
we like
to
need
choose
to chill.
between which divorced parent he'll go with.
No,
but
literally.
genuinely, it was for me so comical that I kept laughing because Drew's in the corner of like my left eye, like a sad puppy, and Enya's on this side, like debating me. And then eventually, I
Y'all
was just
are like master debaters though. Like y'all are
Yeah,
like really
yeah,
good at
yeah.
master
I mean,
debating.
you have like two people who have like such strong opinions who think they're like more like their morals will change the zeitgeist of the fucking
It was
millennium.
crazy. It was really
Like-
crazy. And like it was
exactly
Like, exactly. Like-
no, literally when you get two dumb bitches in the room saying exactly to each
No,
other.
Our thing more is like no, literally.
No,
literally.
that's what I've been saying this whole fucking time.
Yes,
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
and I'm so glad you met me there because, like, I was here, and where were you?
Enya and
No,
Orion could be
literally.
the most wrong about something anybody has
Yeah.
ever been wrong about, and if one of them agrees with them, they're the right person.
Yeah, I
They're
literally-
doing the right
Well,
thing.
and we're gonna agree.
Yeah.
At this point, we
Yeah.
are gonna agree. There
Yeah,
was a time
no, we
where
have
I was
to.
like no, just like no. But
But I've taken her moral compass and matched it to my moral compass, and even if you put the two together, it still wouldn't be right.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
no, like
It is though.
No, it is.
Yeah,
like I'm
like, it is,
unironically
though.
some of the shit like y'all like are wrong right about. I'm like, no, like y'all are right about, but it's probably because y'all have skewed my moral compass
No,
as well.
exactly.
And, but
There
like
is
well, okay,
no
so let
moral
me put it
compass.
on paper from only my perspective, and then we're all like, yes, that is so true. But I think that's the only like real argument we've gotten into.
yeah, and it wasn't even
we
real.
used
Y'all
to butt
literally
heads over other shit, but like we never argued over it. It was
No.
just
Yeah.
like
I will say, like, one thing I really love about our dynamic is that there isn't room for arguing. Like, if I'm upset, you will text me like a dissertation to be like, I don't know what I did, but I'm sorry, or like vice versa.
Yeah, 100%.
Where like it can't even like get to the point of arguing because it's like, what's the fucking point?
y'all are communicators.
Yeah, we're women.
what'd you say? We are master No, we're
debaters.
master debaters.
Yeah.
minus the D.
Yeah, exactly.
Whoa.
The Wingbot girls.
Let's talk about our
let's
wing bots.
let's talk about the Wingbot.
Oh,
like
let's talk
the
about
the
how-
creator of
I know you
Wingbot
are
is
the
here.
founder of Wingbot.
Yeah, I don't know how it happened, but it just did. It felt right, you know? Like,
Yeah.
It's literally because I went to your house one day and I saw it and I was like, I literally have that. And then you were like, oh, my Wingbot. And I was like, that's what you call that? And then
and I was like,
just-
let me give you the full name. It's Wingbot Junior 3000.
yeah.
Exactly.
And I haven't shied away from her since. She's
I know,
been going
she-
strong.
no, yeah, literally.
since 2017.
Yeah, no, she's like built.
I have
Different.
another. I have a travel. She has like a buddy.
And y'all use
I
that
like
shit.
switch them out, you know?
What's her name?
She doesn't have one
Wingbot
yet,
Junior
actually.
1000?
Yeah.
No,
Her
yeah.
name is
Junior.
Manama Sandra.
Oh, Manama
Sandra.
Sandra.
Manama
yeah.
Sandra.
Yeah.
In the
Pilot
episode with
Jones.
Josie, we were like in the car trying to almost explain that. And it probably sounds like the craziest audio.
Wait, like the whole lore,
The
of
lore.
our characters.
Not
Like, we
like-
didn't go into it, but
Okay.
we were just like, well, Manama Sandra started dating Wing Lee, and then that was a problem because she was with Pilot Jones for
I
so long.
thought she was dating my Mama Bertram.
No,
Oh, no,
Mama
no,
Bertram and
yeah.
Pilot Jones are dating.
I see.
Yes.
Yeah, but
yes.
then Pilot Jones got with Manama Sandra.
Okay, but let's
and it
talk
started
about
being
Harley
extreme problems.
Davidson being a homewrecker. Like that's the Harley
Harley
Davidson.
Davidson.
Oh. See, I don't really talk about her that much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She's
bad
like,
things happen when we
she's
talk about her.
toxic.
Actually, you know, I don't ever talk about Harley.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's
It's just
that's like she like lives in your world.
yeah.
But like I respect her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
I brought her in and like I really regret it. Like she's really toxic.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, that's probably why we,
might
just
have to
naturally
kill
stay
her
away.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what do you
Right.
got to say? You got all those notes.
Well, I was just gonna talk about
on.
so like did y'all ever have teachers that y'all thought were like extremely hot? Like really, really bad.
yes.
Okay, like specifically, was it a history teacher with those goddamn khakis and bulging the fuck out?
One of
Because they
them
knew
was
what they
a
were doing.
history teacher.
They
Yeah,
were
history
pervy.
teacher.
Bro, they're pervs. They do that shit on purpose. Like they know their bulge looks fucking great in
and they're
those
like
jeans.
always like the basketball coach.
Yes.
Or
Yeah.
like mine was the baseball. No, mine was the basketball coach. The other one was the baseball coach.
Yeah.
But like, it was real. It was visceral, and I loved them.
They're
Yeah,
also
I don't
always
know.
too nice, and we need to like put them in jail now.
I actually agree with that because one, oh my God, I had a lot of weird experiences with like male teachers actually.
Yeah.
Like I had a math teacher who he was like, it was like airport syndrome where he wasn't hot, but like he's the hottest person at the school by
Yeah.
proxy, because he's, you know, a man. And,
Yeah.
but it wasn't weird like that. Let me step away. But he would let me cheat on all my math tests. I'm so bad at math. So like he would let me get away with things. But I remember like the day before graduation, I'd like, maybe I was enabling this also.
Girl, but you were a child.
Okay,
You were
but
a
I
child.
followed him on a social media platform, and he never followed me back, but I never said anything about it. But the day before graduation, I was like walking to my car, and he was just like, after graduation I can follow you back. The day of graduation, after I walked that fucking stage, followed me
Oh
immediately.
my God.
And then the best part is a couple of years ago I made a joke on Twitter.
He is going to jail.
Yeah, I know he's going to jail, actually. I made a joke on Twitter where I was like, the best thing about, I don't remember what it was, but it was something along the lines of like, the best thing about Twitter is, I mean, not Twitter, the best thing about Tinder is that you could get free dinner or something of the sorts. And he DM'd me the tweet and was just like, I just don't find this really funny because like men like really take this.
Oh my God, I thought he was gonna riz all over you.
No,
like
no.
he was being fucking loser, boo.
I just don't take this
He's still see even post high school.
No,
he's still
fully.
teaching.
No, but it was like in a way where he's just like respect men because
Ew.
like
Ugh.
I take this serious and like I go here to find people and like whatever. And I was like, listen, it was a joke. And then he responds, he was like, but for the record, I'd swipe right. Hello.
Bro, why not
Hello?
just DM
I
you
had-
and be like, let me take you to dinner?
I
Like
had-
that's how you like win. Like
Let me take you to dinner.
Yeah,
that
like-
also doesn't sound right. I was a student.
he's going to jail, but to say to like drill you about your joke and then be like, but for the record, I would
For the
still
record,
take you to dinner.
I would,
basically.
yeah, do that. And I don't know where he's at today.
He's in jail.
We need to
in,
find
He's
him.
in federal prison.
Yeah,
We're gonna find him on my Raya account one day. We play
And,
Raya.
Yeah. I love playing Raya.
That's like the
It's
best
so
game
fun.
ever. Is like to get on my Raya account, lay in a circle, and we all giggle about the people on Raya.
Everybody's
It's so
like,
fun.
dude, everybody treats these games, like these apps, like a game. It's not a game. Literally what that man was saying. And we're like, yeah, and
It is
we
literally
it's
a
fun.
game.
like, it's so funny.
It's
And
so
like, you know
fun.
what? Actually, at that time, I had no money. So yeah, I was going on Tinder to get free dinner dates.
You were starving.
I like genuinely had.
You were like
Were you in
getting ready
Atlanta
for the
still?
dinner because you hadn't
Oh,
eaten in
what?
48
Were you
hours.
still in Atlanta?
I was still living in Georgia, and my rent at the time was like I think like $300. But like all I was making at the time, working at American Apparel, was like $300.
I was gonna say we need to talk about
Dude,
that era
so
too.
I know.
all of my money was going towards rent, and I didn't want to ask my parents for money because like they didn't have any fucking money to give me. So I went on Tinder. And
That's
went
honestly
on a
such a
couple of
lucrative
dates.
way to save money.
It's
And I
genius.
did actually tell a guy. I it's your little
Soggy
kilt.
bottom.
I did tell a guy. I was like, you know, like I am on this for dinner, and then he just like kind of laughed it off, and I like laughed it off, and I didn't say anything, but because I was like being serious, and
You were like, I'm starving.
I was starving. I was like, please
That's what I'm
spare
saying.
bread.
You literally were shaking getting ready because you hadn't had your like proper meal
I
for
hadn't
48
had a proper
hours.
meal. I was broke, and I lived with a roommate who was actually.
Stealing
I was
everything
gonna
from
say.
you.
I was gonna say if we can talk about that, you should talk about that.
we can talk about it.
Literally,
Let's
we
talk
won't
about
mention
it.
names, but like
You
Literally
need to talk
just
about this
dive
because it's
in.
literally fucking hilarious.
it's the craziest shit I've ever
Yeah.
heard. Like to preface the story, Orion had like a nightmare fucking roommate, and like I know what you think, like, oh, like over dramatic, but like no,
Yeah,
like
no.
y'all, like literally psycho boots, like dangerous, like the killer behavior. But like, I'll let you
truly
take
the killer
it over.
behavior. So I met this girl. Okay, I am just like clearly, like I said, no moral compass, because there were multiple reasons as to why I should not have moved in with her in the
Red
first place, and
flags.
yet I still did it because I granted forgiveness. But I met her through an ex-boyfriend. He was dating, or his roommate was dating her. Long story short, they broke up because she was lying about her age the whole time. Like, he was like a grown man and she was lying about her age. He found out on Facebook because her dad posted, like, well, no, I think like 3 months in, she told him, like, I need to like tell you, like, I'm not 23, I'm actually 18. And he's like fucking shell shocked by that. And he's like, whoa, I think he was like 24 at the time or something. And he was just like, okay, this is really weird, but like, I guess. And then they kept dating, I think like only for like a couple of weeks. And then her birthday rolls around and he sees on Facebook her dad post on her wall, like, happy 16th or happy 17th birthday or something like that. And he was like, fucking like, what? And I was like, oh, but she was cool.
She's the
I know,
girl.
on your side,
She's
you're like,
chill.
okay, what? She had to do what she had to do.
She was like so cool. And so eventually, like, that, like, I was no longer dating and that person. So I became friends with her. And it was this like strange way. I felt like me becoming closer to her felt like, I don't know, we both were dating roommates and they both broke up with us. So like,
it was almost
It's
like
literally-
you guys won something in the end.
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
It's that
So-
TV show of like the two husbands leaving their wives for.
You love mentioning this
yeah,
damn TV.
Grace and
I know what it
Frankie.
is. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. All right, it's time for that summertime sadness, which is something maybe only I face because it's the middle of the year and how did I let my time fly and I'm 24 and what am I doing? Am I making the right decisions? I'm actually going to freak out. And then I reel back. I remember I have a therapist, and that's something I think everybody needs, to sit down and give all your irrational and rational delusions to, honestly, because sometimes we use delusion in a way that makes it seem like it's irrational, but I believe my delusions are rational, and I have a therapist to certify that for me. Therapy can give you the tools to find more balance in your life so you can keep supporting others without leaving yourself behind, making sure that your future and your present self are safe. It's really easy to get caught up in what everyone else needs, especially during the summertime when everybody's ringing your phone like, let's go outside. No, I want to stay inside and talk to my therapist so I can figure my life out. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Find more balance with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/intercom today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/intercom.
So it was like this gorgeous moment of this crazy person who I tried to look past their behaviors. And so she was at this time like 17 and I was like 19. And she told me, we like sat down for lunch one day and she's like, oh, can you, my mom's coming. Like, I got this guy to like get this lease on this house. Can you lie to my mom and say that you're moving in with me and that like you basically are on this lease? And I was like, yeah, totally. So we go to this house to see it. It's this beautiful house. And I'm like, oh my God, wait, actually, can I live here? Like, I'm not kidding. Like, can I live here? She's like, yeah, you could take any room you want. It's $300 a month. Like, that's whatever.
So cheap.
Deal. As I'm moving in, it's my birthday. We're going out. I see this guy from across the room. I'm like in the most heartbroken state of my fucking life. I just like got over a devastating breakup. And I see this guy who for the first time in a long time that was I ever attracted to anyone else. And I was like, this guy over here. And she's like, oh, I thought he was cute too. And like, I wanted to get his number. And I was like, not on my fucking birthday, dude. But I'm also not going to have this conversation with anyone.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
That's all yours. I don't care. And she's like, no, I don't want to. I don't want to. Long story short, I ended up seeing this guy. I came home and I told her about it. I was like, you know, that guy that we saw, I ran into him at a coffee shop and we went on a date. She's like, that's so great. I'm so happy for you. And like, it was like this moment where I was like, wow, this girl's like, she's just as forgiving
grown.
as I am.
Yeah, she's a
that's
grown
so
up.
sweet.
Aw.
So, mind you, I wasn't fully moved in yet. I went to go stay at my mom's house. And I wake up one morning and I had a missed call from her and I had a missed call from him.
Wait, did she go see him?
At the time, her only like form of social media that she was really active on was Facebook. And same with him. He didn't like have an Instagram or anything. So my first instinct, I have a missed call from the both of them. This is really weird. And I think he texted me like, we need to talk about something. I went on, the first thing I did was go on Facebook and went on his Facebook. And we had all of a sudden one mutual friend, and it was her. And we had never had any mutual friends. And I was like, you don't even need to tell me what happened. Like, I know what happened.
Yeah.
Anyways, I give him a call, and he's like, so she invited me over to y'all's house.
At the crib y'all were staying
the house
at?
that I was living in.
What the hell?
And she's like, she invited me over, and like, blah, and like, he was like beating around the bush, and I was like, okay, well, did you guys have sex? Like, that's all I need to know, because I hadn't even had sex with this guy yet. And she's
How long
just
were y'all
like,
together
Damn,
for?
she got bones before you did?
No, fully. We were seeing each other for like about a month, but
Okay.
we hadn't like I said, it was a very sensitive time for me. I wasn't ready to be,
Respect.
promiscuous. And turns out, as he was like about to answer that, there was like a prolonged silence, and I was like, no. I just hung up the phone. I drove my ass to that house as fast as I could. I opened up the door. I hadn't spoken to her all day because she like knows that she did something wrong. And I busted the door open and I charged upstairs. I started like packing all my vinyls back into like the box.
Tumblr vinyls.
And she opens the door. She's like, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, why would you? And we're just like yelling at each other. And then she convinces me, and I don't know if it's so much convincing me because like I knew deep down that like this wasn't the case, but like I just wanted to forgive her.
You wanted to
Yeah,
just
like also
not
like
be.
it's like a friend, and you live with her,
Yeah.
and it's like way easier to just be like whatever.
And she basically twists the story being like, he's doing this to us. Look at what he did to us. Like he's playing the both of us. Like she's acting like this man is like terrorizing our lives. So I was like, okay, word. So I ended up moving in. That was where it all goes downhill. And I don't know how it already
I
didn't
didn't
go downhill
know
from there.
that happened before you even moved in.
Yeah, I
Like,
thought that you were already living there when that happened.
No,
That's
that all
crazy.
happened before I moved in.
Oh my god.
the first thing you moved in was your fucking vinyls.
Yeah, girl.
Girl,
That's a
she was
heavy
working
box.
at
Typewriter.
American Apparel,
Your
and she was
typewriter
famous on
top of
Tumblr.
all of your
Yeah.
vinyls, and you would sit on
Exactly.
the floor. Yeah.
Like,
She was
I'm
the
a-
Tumblr girl.
Right.
Like that's
Thank
the
you.
I know.
thing.
I
Thank
am
you.
so jealous of the fact that you worked at American Apparel. Like
That's
that is
so sick.
such a lit. Like
I mean, it
It's,
was
like,
awful, but like it's lit.
historically amazing, but like, was it though? Like, actually,
Were you a good worker or a bad worker?
both.
I was just saying
Like,
because
kind of
there's
both.
some
I mean, I'll
stories you
go
told
into
me.
it, but let me finish this
Yeah,
roommate
yeah,
story
yeah.
really quick.
oh yeah, because there's more.
No, she's. I'm trying to make this as short as possible. Like I am. Also, I heard that you said that I was a Scorpio, which is blasphemous.
I know, but see how I corrected myself immediately.
Oh, you said
'cause-
Virgo.
No, yeah, because after I go, oh my fucking god, she's a Virgo. She's gonna be so mad when she hears that.
that's trifling and that's blasphemous.
Yeah, and yeah, that's fucked up.
You know
Why
what
would
it
you
was?
do
I was
that?
thinking of someone I had sex with. I was like, oh, I want to have sex with Orion, and I was like, fuck, dude, I thought of
right,
the wrong.
right.
Oh,
sign.
okay, but
I
look-
respect that.
Yeah, it's
that I
'cause
The
respect.
stars are pitting these two beautiful women against each other right now. Like they're doing something
Yeah.
demonic to
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Right,
Like,
right,
it's
right.
the
Tearing it
stars.
apart.
Yeah.
It'll happen. Anyways, I have the ability to turn like the shortest story in the world into a fucking, again, dissertation.
Because you're a writer.
Stop. She like didn't have any friends, period. So I was kind of her only friend, but I had other friends. So I would start hanging out with other people, and she would get really upset and like text me and be like, why didn't you invite me? Or like, why aren't you hanging out
Oh
with
my
me?
god, she's literally the killer.
And like just became like really angry anytime I wouldn't involve her in things. So keep in mind, this is when we start going on this tour, and I'm out of town. And she was just filthy. She let her dog shit all over the house. She would leave like cereal bowls filled
Dude,
with
I
like,
really
this
can't
is
imagine.
me talking about Enya.
This is me talking about Josh.
Yeah.
no, it was humiliating. Like I'd invite someone over and there's dog shit on the floor and like a ferret running loose. Like, and that fucking ferret would slip under my door in the middle of the night. Like it didn't have a cage.
Ew.
Like,
That
and
is gross
ferrets
because
reek.
ferrets really stink.
Oh,
Yes.
and she told me, I was like, I will move in if I could bring my cats.
And she was like, no,
She was like, no,
animals.
that's perfect. That's totally fine. I can bring my cats. All of a sudden, she's allergic to cats. And I have to keep my cats in my room with the litter, like everything. All my cats are being locked in the room. A week later, her mother gives her like 3 cats that she found off the street.
Okay.
And so we have 3 other cats. Like it was I was living in a hoarder house. Like,
Yeah.
it was
Yeah, it was a
insane.
zoo.
And anyways, we go on tour, and this other roommate comes in, and he moves in. They get really close, and I was like, you know what, fine, like, thank God, like, she's kind of off my back and like with this guy. And then I'm like, he's gonna come around though. I started seeing her crazy here. I'm like, he's gonna come around and see it. And she, oh my God, so many moments when we went out of town. I forget really what was the kicker of what it all, but she would, just to name a few, she'd broke into my room because I had a deadbolt on my door. She broke into my room, stole my lingerie.
I know, that's my favorite
that's my
one.
favorite.
And like being down so bad that you don't
Like-
have time to go just pick some shit up from Goodwill. You're busting open this girl's door.
The worst thing about it is I found out about the lingerie because one, she posted Instagram photos of her wearing my lingerie. Like, I follow you.
Dude, like literally insane.
And two, I came home and she, like I said, very filthy, would leave her like dirty clothes on the bathroom floor. And I'm just like using the bathroom and I'm like looking and I'm like, my panties are soiled on the ground right now. Like, what the fuck? And, like, I hadn't
Girl,
worn
you're
these-
just lying and you soiled those panties. And
That's
we're
the
blaming
crazy
you.
thing is I hadn't, it was like nice lingerie. Like, I had no business wearing lingerie in this like moment in time. And she was just like denied every part of it. Like, fully denied. And
Dude,
then
honestly, there's something so awesome about somebody living like that. Because how? Like,
or at one point
denial.
she was like, I didn't know these were yours. They weren't. They were in my drawer.
Yeah,
That- in the
what do
room that you
mean?
broke it down.
Like, literally broke into. God, what else? The day that I moved out,
Yeah.
I went on a live stream to talk about her, but I never said her name, and no one knew who I was living with, and like no one was really on this live stream, but she was clocked in. I don't know how the fuck she was clocked in, but
I know.
she was.
Imagine, like, dude, she's literally the killer. Keep going. I'm sorry.
And
It's so
no, you're
exciting.
fine. And I had a friend over and Katie and I are in the room, like, and I just hear the front door open and then the front door slam and I hear her barging up the stairs. And I look at Katie and I'm like, this isn't good, because I have no idea what she's about to yell at me about. And she does, like, she's like quintessential white woman where when they get mad, they go, can I talk to you for a second? Can you step outside? Hey, like, can you open the door? Like, I just want to talk to you. And that,
Were you still on
like,
live stream?
No. I had
okay.
been off. And she basically opened the door and was like, why are you online saying that I'm a horrible person? And I'm like, I just like had to like laugh in her face. Like, I maybe under
It was
like
to that point.
situations where I'm arguing with people, I like have to laugh because it is
because it's literally
genuinely
fucking hilarious.
so funny.
Yep, it's stupid.
And I'm like, listen, I never said your name. I never said anything bad about. I'm only like telling the truth. I said something really. Her mom was behind her the whole time. Actually, I forgot to mention the fact that her mom was behind her, and I was being really respectful because her mom was behind her. But it wasn't until her mother said something, and her mom was like, "Well, maybe if you learned how to pay rent on time, you wouldn't be getting kicked out." And I was like, "Oh." So this is the lie.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is
So
why.
she's telling her mom.
She's telling people that I wasn't paying rent, so therefore I'm getting kicked out. And I did something really horrible, and I said something about her life that her mother does not know about. You know what? And actually, I don't feel bad for this because
Yeah,
she
I'm
was
like,
Yeah.
she was
literally
terrorizing,
crazy.
and I just said, "Well, how about you ask your daughter how she makes her rent money?" And then I didn't say what it was. I just said, just ask her about it. And she fucking, God damn it, Orion, and slams the door in my face. And then Katie's filming this whole thing also, like laughing. And I'm like, what is, and she's like, that night I just packed up everything and I left that
I know,
next
because she
morning.
literally would have fucking stabbed you in your
Yeah,
sleep.
for
And
real.
another reason why I don't feel bad for saying that is because a year later she texted me and was like, I just wanted to reach out and apologize to you for everything I did. So I wasn't technically the bad guy for saying anything.
Was she pocketing your rent money? Isn't that what was going on?
So she also didn't have a steady job, and so she was pocketing my rent money. She was pocketing my roommate's rent money, and then was like asking us for more money, being like, "Oh, we actually need like money for the security deposit, babe.
the
We've been in this house
utilities.
for 6 months. What do you mean we need the security deposit money
So
right now?"
crazy.
She's like, hey, the security deposit fell through, so we like need more. It's just
And no,
like,
it was
just to make sure we're
it was
safe in
absurd.
here.
Oh, and one time when I was out of town on a press play, it was Halloween, she threw a Halloween party at her house, and she invited over my ex-boyfriend, who I was so devastated over, who she knew I was devastated over. And he came probably for the hopes, I'm hoping that he thought that I would be there. But he went to our house. And also the guy that she ended up having sex with, who I was seeing before, she told him to not be with me or to not date me because I'm so emotionally unavailable, which like she might have been right about that.
But also y'all have
But,
known
like,
each other for like 2 days.
Yeah.
It was
Also,
awesome.
she literally went after somebody who you were actively seeing. Like, that is so insane.
She's a marvel. No, I really
That's what I'm
mean
saying.
that.
No, I'm like, it's literally like brave. People
Yeah.
who live that lifestyle and genuinely can do it fearlessly are genuinely soldiers.
Yeah.
No, I have the utmost respect for her in the craziest way because she has managed to live her life this way. And like, even like, I moved to LA, and a year and a half into moving, I get an email from someone who's living with her at the time being like, I live with blank and I need pointers. She told me all this about you. I believed it. Now she's doing the same shit to me, and she's taking me to court. Like, blah, blah, blah. So,
Taking me to court.
and like, and she
is
like
so
needed a
crazy.
witness, and I'm like, babe, so sorry you're going through this,
So
but
far
like,
in
I'm
the
not
past. Yeah.
involving
Yeah.
myself with this. Yeah,
Dude.
she was a piece, but I respect it because at the end of the day, she ended up getting everything she wanted.
I was
she
gonna
was
say.
literally
For what she
living her
wanted.
fucking
Yeah.
life.
And in her own way, she is a girl boss.
Yeah.
It's so insane. Like, I also, since we've lived together and with Josh, it's crazy. I'm never going to have a crazy roommate story because,
Oh, that can change.
like,
That
that
no.
will change.
oh, you know what? It's funny that I said that because behind your back, I'm always like, I'm like my fucking roommate.
Yeah, no.
It actually
it's
feels
not
really
friends.
wrong to call you my roommate.
I know, I
like when
hate it.
people,
it doesn't feel
yeah,
like
when people are like,
my life partner that I live with.
No, I literally say
Yeah.
I live with my friends. Like
Yeah.
I can't say roommate. It's disrespectful.
I'll say
Yeah.
roommate and then immediately go, he's my best friend, but we live together.
You
That's why I
remember
call him my roommate.
that turd you found on your floor like 2 or 3 days ago?
Yeah.
And we thought it was Azul's.
Yeah.
It was actually me shitting on your floor.
Oh, why would
So
you? And you let
sweet.
me clean it. You watched me clean your shit.
Yeah, because I was.
What did I do to you for you to do that?
You didn't do anything. I just like get off on that. Like it's just like this thing. I
Drew
don't know.
has this thing.
Yeah.
so,
This scary
so I
thing.
had
this
awesome.
thing.
Yeah, he's so awesome. He's perfect. But there is one thing.
There's this one
he
thing.
loves shitting on the floor.
He loves watching people
Yeah.
clean up his shit.
It's really charming.
I don't think I told you that. I woke up and Azul had pooped on my floor because the turd got stuck to her butt. And I think before she got on the bed, she like shook it off and then jumped on my bed, slept right next to my fucking head. And I had taken a bunch of NyQuil because I was like, I've been super sick and congested. So I went to go get off my bed and I wear slippers in the house. Thank fucking God, because I stepped on the shit.
no.
And then the next morning, because I'm so congested, I didn't smell it. And Drew was like, oh, it stinks in here. And I was like, does it though? Because I
It
don't
was
smell
bad.
anything.
Yeah, I mean,
It's 'cause
your
there's a
nose
turd
is
on
like
the-
immune to the smell of the litter at this point.
I know,
It
literally.
like-
always
I don't-
makes me sleep on the other side of the bed, closest to the litter, and I have to like
Dude,
fucking like
and
sleep like this.
When you sleep in Enya's room, like Azul for some reason takes the loudest, stinkiest, grossest shit.
No, it really
smelly
is when
shit.
someone else is in the room, because when Sabrina was staying here, it was the first night I walked to go shower, and it was, Sabrina started freaking out because it started to smell so bad in my room, because Azul just immediately, the second I left the room, ran into the litter box and took a big
he's
shit.
panicked.
Yeah,
just
he
started
literally.
gassing.
He's
Azul
learning
out.
some traits from Drew.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
He
gets a
watches his dad.
He gets some anxiety, and he has to like let it out.
How about this?
Whoa, she has scarlet fever.
Yeah, I literally have a scarlet fever cough. Sorry.
Right.
Sorry.
Right.
Coughing like that is
Right.
so embarrassing. It's really humiliating.
What else you got going on, Orion?
Not much.
You got something special working
know.
on?
The devil loves idle hands. That's why I'm here.
Guys, Orion has like something seriously wrong
Yeah.
with her, and like she found out about it like, was it yesterday?
Found out about it yesterday.
Yeah, and
I'm
it's-
self-diagnosing, by the way.
It's really sad.
It's major. I think I'm dyslexic. I'm so serious. I found out that I have been paying taxes to the wrong under the wrong social security
So
number.
bad.
It's funny because you're committing fraud and you're just trying to like cover it up with the fact that you're dyslexic.
you know,
like-
yeah, true. I guess.
But like
Yeah.
I might be in federal prison next year. Like no one's talking about the
No,
fact
Wait.
that
if you
I'm
can't go to
Orion's-
prison because then I have to go to prison.
That's
So we can
true.
still hang out.
Orion's
No.
federal prison art.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, okay. I switched up 2 numbers on accident and I'm working on it. But then I was like, this is a serious problem because I was so convinced that that was, you know, my social security number.
Is it like you just remembered it wrong and you would
Yeah,
just,
what is
like,
your
repeat it
social
off the
security
top?
number?
No.
Can you say it out loud real
should
quick?
should I?
Yeah,
Yeah,
is
just
it-
for
Is this a
people.
safe
Yeah,
space?
it's a safe space.
Okay, cool. Anyway, I was doing it right for years. I think it started in 2020 is when I checked my W-2 and it was like things were swapped and I'm like, oh fuck. And also I just like I have a hard time phonetically sometimes. And so
But all the best writers in the world are dyslexic.
well, F. Scott Fitzgerald and Yeats, you know, they're dyslexic. So
You're
that was
basically
the
them.
that was the first thing I looked up. After taking a
You're so
dyslexia
we'll insert the screenshot.
after I took my dyslexia test online, which I think I need to get tested in person because I don't know.
You and Drew should go together.
We should.
because-
Yeah,
We should.
that's what I said.
Yeah.
I was like, we need to go do that together.
And then I looked up writers with dyslexia, and then, you know, up came a bunch of articles
And your
saying
name
that
was
And
there, and you were
yours
like,
is-
and my name was
hello,
there,
how
and
do
it
they
was
know?
like they are the most brilliant writers of all time. They can craft a story better than anyone who doesn't have dyslexia. So
Yeah.
even if I don't have dyslexia, I'm going to lie and say
yeah, just write it
Yeah,
out. Write it out.
exactly.
right, exactly.
Exactly.
But yeah, me and Orion are going on a slaycation together,
Mm-hmm.
and it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome possum.
The
Yeah.
girls are gonna be scissoring on the beach.
Yeah, we're gonna be tripping and scissoring on the beach. In
Is
front of
scissoring real?
everybody.
Weird
Scissoring's
but
not real.
fucking beautiful. Scissoring on the beach, weird but fucking beautiful.
Is that the album?
Fuck up.
Snow on the Beach, Taylor Swift.
It's like
Yeah.
on the
Yeah, you know
beach.
the
song. Yeah,
weird,
yeah,
It's
yeah.
actually a
fucking
Raya song.
beautiful.
Dude. Oh
Right?
yeah, it's
Wait,
Wait,
that.
is that on your Raya as your song?
Yeah.
That is literally so funny.
Also, I've told them and Enya and everybody in my life about this, but I don't know if you know about this. But like around the same time we first met, Taylor Swift wrote a song about me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Drew looks at me, smiles.
Is
so-
it like unreleased?
No, it's real.
She actually does say Drew. She
Yeah,
literally
Drew
does say.
looks at me.
I
Fake a smile so he won't see.
That was me at the party when you walked in.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
actually, Taylor Swift notoriously writes songs about, you know,
Other couples.
Jack
Mm-hmm.
Antonoff, Lena Dunham. We did sign an NDA,
Yeah.
but like I think
it's like expired now.
It's
Yeah,
way
I will
expired.
say I told her all about that night, and you're a legend because of it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Oh my
Right.
god.
And me? Guys.
She wrote like love story about us.
You know what I should give you is the letter I wrote to you in 2020 for your birthday, because it's in my room
right now.
Because, or I don't know,
No,
right now.
No,
Like,
not right now. No, no.
Because it's I like read through it, and it was right before we cracked the code of being really intimate.
Yeah.
Because we were close during COVID, but I feel like by the end of 2020, we were like inseparable.
Yeah. No, totally.
Because it was for your birthday 2020 that I wrote this, and I still didn't know how to like write something out to you and be like emotional and be serious. But I bought that for you, and I have the Florence vinyl because I got you the Florence vinyl and that. But then I never gave it to you because I think I got embarrassed because I read the letter and I was like, this, like, I'm like not being fully real here. Like I'm still like have all my shame of my
Meanwhile-
morality scale that I can't move past.
Like, no, it's so bad. I feel like anytime we've written each other a letter, it's like it just ends in crying. Like last this year on your
yeah,
birthday.
my birthday.
That was major.
Yeah, and then Drew watches in the corner.
Yeah, then I'm just
Mm-hmm.
here watching,
I actually tell Drew first what I'm going to get you, and then Drew's like, oh, she's going to cry.
and then she cries.
And then she cries.
I am also a crybaby. I feel like
No,
we're both
we're
crybabies.
both crybabies.
Yeah.
If you sit us down in a table with 2 glasses of wine and the topic of death, it's fucking over.
It's
like
Also-
it's
over. It's
existential.
done.
Just sit y'all down at a table with 2 glasses of wines, and y'all will tell the same story y'all have told for the past 6 years to each
Exactly,
other
yeah.
and love and eat it up
It's
every
that,
time.
and like it's usually like the same stories that we still need to rehash because it's like I'm not done.
There's
Yeah.
it can never end. It's like
Yeah.
I can dig through the same story there's so many words in a story. We just have to get to
Also,
every
like
word.
psychoanalyzing the people involved is just
Yeah.
really great.
Recently, it has been about like youth,
Yeah.
and it's been bad. Like we went to the chateau and we had a couple drinks. And on the Uber ride home, we were hysterically crying.
About
'cause
what?
we're like,
Actually, I think I have a picture. I'm going to see if I can show it to
we'll
you.
never be this young again. And like, wait, it wasn't even we'll never be this.
It started to stem off. We were talking about how scary it is to think that we are so comfortable in the life we have now, and it feels so good. Like the
Right.
mundane we have now feels so good, even though sometimes it's tiring.
Yeah.
It feels so good. And I think what started to trigger it is we were sitting in the car, and I was just thinking of all the times we've been leaving the chateau and going back to like this apartment to like sleep together.
Yeah.
And that started freaking me out because I was like, dude, one day we won't live here.
yeah.
So
And it was, I remember really, this has like kind of just been like on my mind lately I'm not so much like worried or afraid of aging. Like I think obviously it's like a privilege to age, and I'm really excited to see what that looks like for myself. But
You're literally gonna be so hot.
I know, you're gonna be the sexiest lady ever.
I hope
crazy.
so.
it's gonna be really bad because I'm gonna like be like, fuck, I can't have sex with her.
No,
like,
you
that's my
can.
sister.
Yeah.
No, she can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe when we're like older, we'll just like have sex and
Yeah.
get it
No,
over
that's
with.
literally what I think. I'm just like, someone's gonna have to have sex with each other in this group and ruin it, and it might as well be y'all.
I feel like we could at this point live. I feel like we could live past
Yeah.
it.
Like if it's gonna be anyone, it'll probably
Yeah,
be me who
exactly.
does it. Anyways, but I think I just have this like vision of I've had this face for as long as I can remember. Even like as a child, like I don't know, like I'm used to looking at this face.
Yeah.
And at one point in my life, I'm going to look in the mirror and it's going to be a different face, and that is so. I don't like, lack of a better word, scary to just know
it's
that like
terrifying.
I think about that a lot too, and especially with like, I don't know if y'all ever saw those videos of those people using like that filter where it made like the younger version of themselves, and they would be like sobbing.
Yes.
And that's like, that was really scaring me because I was like, then I started looking at old pictures of myself like from like 4 years ago and like seeing the change, and I
Yeah.
still see myself as that person, and then I like have to get comfortable with this version, and I know in 4 years
totally.
I'll like look back and be like, oh my god. And then also I'm just like so hard on myself like with my appearance and like my body and everything, and I'm just like, why can't I in this moment just love what I have? Because in
just
4
be fucking
years
happy.
it's gonna be even worse, and like I'm gonna be like, I wish I still looked like that. I don't know, it's just something I struggle with.
Yeah, I mean, and it's also just the phenomenon of like you look back at photos from 4 years ago and you're like, oh, I look so great here. But in that moment, you didn't feel
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
Dude.
But also, like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm not so much like, it feels arbitrary. Like, I'm not so much worried about like wrinkles or like, you know, the signs of aging. Wait, this is an amazing photo. Ew.
You look like the girl from the Chess movie.
It's literally us like sobbing.
What's that?
Taylor-Joy.
Yeah, you look like Anya Taylor-Joy.
You literally do.
Yeah, I'm not so much worried about, I think it's just, yeah, something to get used to. And thinking of the girl I used to be. Like, I know like I'm technically a woman right now, but I feel so much like a girl. I still feel like a girl. And
Well, you are the girl.
I'm the girl.
Yeah.
The girl. So I don't know. I was reading, which you need to read, Annie or No. I'm reading a girl's story right now, and she talks about this summer in her life of this like love affair this love affair, I guess. And she keeps referring to herself as in the girl of 58, of the year 58. And she's like, I don't know how to write about this. Like, it feels like I'll give myself more freedom if I refer to her as she rather than I. And it's like, I'm like reading this in real time while thinking these thoughts of like, oh my God, yeah, like there's this version of her that exists that was so important that is no longer her because she's older now. And so she feels so disassociated with it, but still so attached to it and wants to write about it, but doesn't know if she'll, you know, like grant herself more freedom to if she refers to that version of herself as, you know, a third party.
Yeah, 100%. It's also insane because I think we're all at the age too where we definitely could do that with our teenage selves.
Yeah.
Because all three of us suffer from like nostalgia
Oh, it's so bad.
in
It's
a way.
debilitating.
Yeah, it's like debilitating. All you can do is look back at yourself and think about the way you felt, the way you saw things, the way you understood and perceived the world. And I'm hoping that the way I feel about my teenage self translates when I'm like 50. I'm thinking about myself in my 20s, where it's, as much as I have this craving to go back, I'm like, oh my God, I would literally do anything. I was like, even though I was fucking miserable, sad, like upset, confused, I want to go, like, part of me wants to go back, but I don't think I would if I could, because it was such a tumultuous time that it literally is terrifying to me at this age. And I'm hoping and praying to God that by the time we're in our 50s, that's how I feel about my 20s. But I feel like our 20s are literally so fun.
Girl, no, our
I
20s are
know,
like,
I know.
we are living like such an incredible life. Like, I literally have my girls here. And what freaks me out so fucking much is like, you kind of touched on it, but there's going to be a time when like, we don't see each other for months at a time, and
We
it's
can't
so
let that
I don't
happen.
want
no,
that.
I know.
I'm
We-
seriously, we cannot let that
can't
no,
do that.
like I genuinely, like when we talk about, like I've seen it as a joke, but like I genuinely believe that at some point in our lives, like we will literally live on a compound together, and we will have our own spaces with our
That we
own
need
families,
to.
with our own land,
Yeah.
but like we'll be a golf cart right away. Like
No,
that's
fully.
what I need, and I believe it.
I mean, like, I cannot imagine not being a drive away from you guys. And like, also, we've talked about this too, and it's hard. I think in the sense of like, because we think we want children.
Yeah.
And like, I think about having, like, our 20s are so fun, and I'm sure our 30s are going to be even more fun.
I know. That's
Yeah.
the problem is, especially now as we're getting older, I feel like all of us know a lot of people in their 30s who are still like running around. They don't have kids. They don't have this like stable life that we were all taught that would be the imagined life for our 30s. And also as we inch closer to our 30s, it becomes more prevalent that realistically in 4 to 6 years, none of us are going to be like, yeah, I just have to be home. I want to just really
know,
buckle
it's so
down.
I also
crazy.
cannot realistic. I can see us having children and like having a life like outside of a friendship, like with a partner, whatever that may look like. But I don't see us as the type of people to just like live in that.
Yeah.
Just stay in it.
It's just not realistic.
It makes
for me
No.
personally.
It's no same. Like it literally makes no sense to me that like, I mean, it's different for me than y'all because like literally like, and this isn't like me being funny, y'all have like a biological clock and that's just like scientific.
Yeah.
And like, that's why a lot of people in their 30s are having children at that age. But like, for me, it's kind of different. Like I can wait until my late 30s to have children.
Yeah.
Like I'll be an old fucking dad. But like, I don't know. That's something else I think about a lot because I'm like, also, who the fuck am I gonna have kids with? Because like, literally, I've literally, yeah, no, like I
You're
genuinely
gonna have to like beg one of us to just do it.
like, no, it's for real. Like, I want kids, and I will probably be raising them alone because, like, girl, I've never been in a long-term
God bless
relationship.
that child.
God-
if you are raising a child alone, Drew.
Guys, no, I'm like a good person.
No, I'm just kidding.
They'll get red 40
there's, like,
for
kind
lunch.
of like amazing though. Like I've thought about that. Like I thought about the fact that for me, like a peaceful life also sounds like getting a sperm donor and having a child on my own and just being like, have you ever seen like Matilda, like Miss Honey, and she's like raising Matilda basically, like.
Yes.
That doesn't sound half bad.
And also,
literally.
like, literally, all men fucking suck genuinely, and that's literally how it is. Like, except
Kin keeping, babes.
no, for real,
Cannot partake.
for real.
Cannot partake.
You know what it is too?
Tell the girls about kin keeping.
Is so kin keeping is when you have a child with a fucking disgusting God-forsaken man, and every man loves to be like, I want to be a dad, I want to be a dad, until the dadding has to start dadding.
The dad
Where's
is not
the dad?
dadding.
Yeah.
The dad cannot function without the mother, who is literally building the foundation of this home, whether that be by like cooking, cleaning, caretaking not only the kids,
Yeah.
but the husband, making sure everyone's fed, making sure everyone's clean.
And there are like little things for that too. I saw this TikTok of this girl being like, oh, me and my husband, we split our chores. Like he does the dishes and I go grocery shopping. Grocery shopping requires thinking about what you're going to buy, planning for dinner. Like there's like so much that goes into just grocery shopping versus doing the
fucking
dishes.
The labor.
You know what
yeah.
I mean? Like
Yeah.
Like it is so insane. And yeah, you just end up upkeeping a whole household all on your own without realizing
And
it
then
because
and then the dude is like, well, I provide for this family. I go work and I work 8 hours a day. And it's like, girl, it doesn't fucking matter.
What men are providing
I know.
these
I'm like,
days?
hello,
Yeah.
They are
I
making
provide
There's
for you
TikToks.
no,
for this.
there's
There
no
are
real
men
men. No real men
on
are
their
left.
phones. Build a fucking house. And
Taking
I very
selfies.
seriously mean that.
No, yeah.
And I was saying, get back to the fucking steel beams in New York City. Like,
Exactly.
get back on those and start
Like,
welding that shit back together.
You want children, but you don't want to, like,
Literally,
you're making TikToks.
Because yeah, that's the other thing is at this point, I genuinely like God bless whoever if I end up having kids, whoever I have kids with, I genuinely also suffer from if it's gonna be done right, it's going to be done by me. And
Yeah.
I just don't see a world where anybody could raise my kid because that's my fucking kid. Let's get that fucking right.
And
That's
also,
my fucking kid.
you are so protective over like your creative babies that like I literally think like if you have a kid with a man, like it is your kid. It's not that
Yeah,
man's
it's
kid.
literally no question. It's like, get the fuck away from my child. That's my child. And I don't know. It's just like literally get away. Also, but when you were saying how we don't. Oh wait, you finished.
I was
that.
just gonna say also it's different because like girls can twerk.
Fuck you. And that's the first thing I'm teaching my daughter.
Yes.
She has to be able to.
I'm going to make an honest woman out of her.
If my kids can't dance, that's gonna be really embarrassing. But that's
gonna be
just
my
something
kid.
I thought
Don't
about, like
have
them
kids
going
with a
to a
white
party
person.
and not being able to dance. Like, why does that sound really embarrassing? Like not knowing how to like just like have fun. Like that's really embarrassing.
Well, you need to like raise your children somewhere that's like in Miami, basically.
Yeah,
like,
literally,
how you were
so that they
raised.
know how to like run around
Yeah.
and like have fun. But I think the reason too, although we are all like, I want kids, whatever, we have so much fulfillment in our friendships
Yeah.
that it is really, really, really hard to imagine a life with not only a partner, but like just imagining a whole life where our friendships aren't so coming first.
was gonna
because
say that.
literally, no matter what relationship I will be in, my top priority is I'm like, that's cool. But
my
how
friends.
am I going to be able to have my friendships and maintain them?
Yeah.
Because they're so, like, of course, any romantic relationship I get into is going to be important to me. But you're not my fucking girls. Like, you were literally just, like, you were
So
simply not my
true.
friends. Like, there's no one else I want to just sit on a couch and watch random YouTube videos
Yeah.
and screenplay TikToks with more than my fucking friends. Like, I just want to, it's so different.
What we should do
No, it really is.
we should all have a child together.
I would say we should all find one sperm donor.
Yeah. Me.
And
Hello.
we have the. Yeah, actually, Drew is the sperm donor.
Let me impregnate
Oh
you.
my god, could you imagine? Drew is a twin. Imagine we got Drew's sperm and
both of us had twins.
Oh, we can do
we've
that. We
had,
can arrange
like-
that. We can do that. Like, let's do it right
But
now.
like, I
Let's
don't
do
think
it.
we should
Oh
do
my
it like
God.
with a doctor. Like, let's just go to your room.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
we'd
yeah,
save
yeah.
money.
Yeah,
We'd
exactly.
save so much
Like,
money.
Why would we? Why would we? put
And
that
I
in the
can do
hands
that
of a
because I'm straight.
Medical
Yeah,
professional.
I mean, you've proved it for sure.
yeah, right.
But what were you saying?
I forgot. Oh, I was. At the same time, I was having this thought when I was washing my face because this is our second year in a row we're doing a slaycation.
Yeah.
And it's so fun. And I thought about it. I was like, oh, like it was a sweet moment where I was like, oh, like in 10 years, like imagine us like bringing our like little toddlers with us. And it just
Yeah.
like, and then that also got me on the next thought where I was like, the fact that I'm thinking of planning a vacation with my friend and her baby and my baby, and there is no, like my partner is not involved in this, whoever I end up with, like, I'm not thinking about us having a family vacation. Like, I'm thinking about me and my friends
Because it would
having
be
a
way
vacation.
more fucking fun if we were in our home, which we're making our home away from home.
Exactly.
Our vacation home. If we like had that with our little babies in that kitchen, like running around us while we're making like.
And then we should make...
Why would a man be there? Why would a man be there? No, it's actually pissing me off. Oh my god, it pisses me off. Why would a man be there? Why do you want to be there? Like, you're literally in my fucking space. Like, oh my god, I'm literally gonna freak out. I'm not kidding. I'm literally gonna start crying.
She's crying. Oh my god.
Like, why do you want to be involved? Go away! No, that literally just freaked me
Oh
out.
my god.
No.
It's like you're kind of like in my business.
No, you were
Like-
literally, oh my fucking god, like there is the killer in the house. The killer is in the house. Like, I'm gonna call the police.
No. And like, I think we should also like arrange our kids to get married. So we could be like mother-in-law.
No, that would be lit if like two like our kids.
Y'all would be
followed up, I'd
related.
Yeah, we're gonna like arrange the marriage.
We'll make it happen.
Yeah.
Well, okay, we'll keep them like friends growing up and then let them date around because we have to make sure that like they get together in like their 30s. So it's like, okay, I'm really down for this. And we'll always break up their relationships and then be like, oh my God, have you ever thought of...
I think what I'll do is if I have a daughter, I'll just raise her in my hometown and make her believe that she has to be abstinent, just like I thought. And then she'll save. I'll let my daughter save herself for your son.
Thank you so much.
I think I'm gonna raise my child, my able-bodied child, in a wheelchair. And
You know what's crazy?
Pump her full of chemicals and shit.
Okay, first of all, you want Gypsy Rose?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
we
should
need her on the
name her
podcast
that.
so fucking bad.
I know.
We need her on
She's-
the
she
podcast
comes out
so
of jail
bad.
this year, I think.
Yeah, and like the end of this fourth quarter
We
this
should
year.
have a party for it. I'm not even kidding.
Like,
We
for
need
real.
to go to the prison.
The thing is,
We need to go see her.
she's the girl, like, for real.
No,
Like, I
literally.
genuinely think, like, she did nothing wrong, and I don't give a fuck.
yeah, free her till
No,
it's
I
that's a
actually
hot-
agree. Like,
What an
Kinda had it
insane
coming.
scenario. She literally, like, what would her life be if she didn't do that? She would literally still be held captive.
Yeah.
no, fully.
And it,
Or
like,
she would
yes,
probably
it's
be
gnarly,
dead.
But yeah, she probably would be dead from being like pumped with medication she didn't need. But you know what's crazy? Before I knew Gypsy Rose was a person, I literally made a joke to my brother. We're probably gonna have to cut this. Where I told Dante, like, we were literally, I think I was like 14, and this was my humor. I was sitting in his room, and I look at him, and I go, if I have kids, I'm literally just gonna have one of them stay in a wheelchair and convince them they can't fucking walk, and never let them have friends over, and never let them out of my sight, so that they never attempt to walk, and really convince them of that. And then one day I'm gonna let them have a friend over, and I'm gonna leave them in the room, and I know the friend's gonna be like, have you ever tried to walk? And it's gonna come up, and the kid's gonna stand, and I'm gonna walk into the room and see the kid standing, and I'm gonna have to break its legs.
Oh, my God.
oh my God.
You're
Yeah.
scaring
Some
me.
things, like, I thought this was going to take a
I
positive
know.
turn. Like, this was a
Like,
bit.
Yeah, it was all a
No,
joke.
and
Right after you
seek
sobbing.
help.
Yeah, something's wrong.
You
I mean,
saying
I
that
literally
after
did
you
just start
cried?
crying about the idea of a man being next to our kids while we're on vacation. So maybe I do need help.
No, it's no, but
Something's
you're
wrong.
like, it's real though, because I don't even want a man there when we don't have kids.
I know.
Like, the thought of like, the only man that's allowed to be in my presence at that time is that sweet little old man putting treats at the front door for us.
I know. He's
Like,
so
I
lit.
love him and I'll do anything for him. Really, truly, I think I would.
Yeah.
But a man on vacation with us,
You know what's
ever?
annoying is then it's like, it's going to be like a situation where he's like, oh, like, let's go to dinner. Like, Orion is going to stay home.
Yeah,
I'm like,
you know what
why
it
is
is,
Orion
too?
staying home?
You know what it is too? At the
fuck?
end of the day, it's because we won't be able to share a bed.
No, literally.
And that's exactly what it is, because the house that we stay at on vacation has 6 fucking bedrooms, and we managed to sleep in the same bed.
Are we gonna pick a
every
different bed
single
this
night?
time?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe
yeah.
we
That
switch
one was
it
a
up.
little. It hurt my back a little bit.
Yeah.
Those
yeah,
pillows were mad uncomfortable.
Dude, the beds there, literally, I don't
They're,
think
like,
humans
rock
actually
hard.
sleep on them.
Like,
they're
they're
like
rock
for
hard.
looking. But yeah, wow. What an episode. We've
Yeah.
been at it for an hour.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Well,
Well, I have one more thing to say. Orion,
Yeah.
that's the name.
Oh, is that our ship name?
Yeah, Orion, yeah. But I had a dream I had a Fortnite dream last night.
shut the fuck
I'm not
up.
kidding, and it was a nightmare. Actually, let me listen to the audio message I sent because I don't remember it, but I sent it to Josiah at like 4 a.m.
Strange because we were at the new, this new POI,
It's like,
cyberpunk vibes, and right outside of it, like the city was this mountain POI, and we were at the top of the mountain, and
I thought it
I
ended
was
there.
with a squad of randoms, and they randomly just were like, let's jump, get on my back. So I got on one of the randoms back. They were younger than me, and we dove off the mountain. Then like 10 seconds passed, and we had to play parachute. And I was like, what the fuck? And then we splatted on the ground. And it was so scary. And like,
That's
Okay,
a dream.
so
You jumped off a fucking mountain.
I
in
jumped off a
Fortnite.
mountain in Fortnite and splatted on the ground. That's the dream.
What, in the dream, were you like a Fortnite character or you were real?
I was a Fortnite character. It was like the Fortnite map.
Right. I had
Right.
a Fortnite dream with Bella Hadid in it.
Oh, my
After
friend.
I really started, with your girl.
Yeah, that's my friend, guys. Bella. I know
Oh.
Bella.
Remember my dream where I had a dream that Cardi B posted a photo of my cat on her story?
So stupid.
I feel like you had like a crazy dream recently.
There are multiple.
Like
Like if I ever had access to black tar heroin, I do not know where my brain would go.
No, that's
like, I'm
me.
So wow.
Girl,
Like,
we need to try H together.
No,
like
you don't.
my brain terrorizes me in the astral realm of dreaming. What would I start speaking about?
Actually, I don't know. You would start pointing at the stars and like communicating with the stars.
Probably.
Okay,
I feel like
that's
I do
something
that
I did
now.
think about is like the first time I like heard about astrology was through you. Like you were
Oh my
really
God.
obsessed with it. And like back then I was like, girl, this shit is bullshit, but like I'm gonna do it because people like are really into it and like there might be something to it. And I still like never ever fully believed. And then I started thinking about it and like, girl, like look at the fucking moon. Like the moon literally controls like giant bodies of fucking water, like makes waves, like lowers the tide, raises the tide. We're made of like a lot of fucking water. So it's just like giving like it has to do something to us.
No,
like the lunar cycle has to.
Fully. Also, I hate the thing about astrology is especially like when Australia is when you start like especially
Boobiala.
oh my god, this is just like a anti-men episode, but like the multiple times that I've like started seeing a guy and been like too afraid to be like, when's your birthday? Because I fear if I ask him what his birthday is, he's gonna be like, oh, well, you're gonna guess like what my stars.
Crazy
And like,
astrology.
yeah, you know what? I am. But you know what I also do? I sit there and I fucking pretend that I like whatever goddamn sport is on your mind. I'm like, go Ravens, go Dogs, whatever it is. Like, I'm pretending, I'm lying. And you can't like
Lie for a split second.
lie to me that like I'm having fun with
You're
the fact
even
that like
interested?
you are a whatever.
Also, what's so annoying about it is why don't you just take it as a fucking compliment? This person is
Yeah,
so interested in you that they
exactly.
like want to look, they want to read about you. Like,
no, literally.
It might come from a place of insecurity, like if it says y'all aren't compatible, that like you'd leave or some shit. I don't know. But I am a Pisces Gemini. What do you know about that?
You're emotional and well, I guess like Pisces would be like very I mean, I'm not a fucking
A reader,
expert on this,
yeah.
but like what I do know about Pisces is that they're emotional and Gemini men are very wish-washy from my experience. Or like not
Is this
only
in the context of like relationships? Is that what everybody bases
yeah,
it
like,
on?
kind of, yeah, but not also like no, like Pisces are notoriously like emotional creatures. I think I'm not an expert. I'm just
Oh,
self-absorbed.
you would be an astrology expert. Like you, I'm sure you know a lot about astrology.
Yeah, I'm self-absorbed and know only about myself.
well, before we end the episode, I actually do have 2 serious questions that I thought of last night. One is, are you writing right now? Which I feel like you already answered in your...
You know, I was actually thinking about this on the couch where I don't know how this thought got popped in my brain, but I am writing, but there is no like book that there is like an active
destination.
like theme. Yeah,
Yeah.
like I'm writing towards something, but like I don't know what that something is.
Write about Enya and y'all's escapades.
Well, what was crazy? Well, that's
Trust and believe. Trust and believe.
Hello. It's crazy is I think like I used to write so much, and I think it was mostly because I didn't have anyone to tell these things to. Whereas like now our relationship has become so emotionally like it's just so strong that like I don't fear telling you anything. So like the thoughts don't resort to paper anymore. They almost resort to you.
I was thinking about that the other day because I was like, I had this notebook that I started writing in January and I haven't written in it since. And it's literally because I've been telling you everything.
Yeah.
So then when I go to write, I feel kind of silly because I'm just thinking, okay, I've just explained this. Also, it sucks because we get into these like really deep conversations. I feel like what we're saying, I'm like, oh, I wish this was like written down somewhere.
Fully.
And then when you get to a paper, it's like, am I about to repeat myself to myself? Like,
no,
what am I?
Literally. But I don't know. I feel like we went to Big Sur and we all wrote, and that was like the first time in a long time where I was just really like writing towards something, which felt really good. And I don't know. I think that for the first time in my life, I can like confidently say I'm genuinely proud about what I'm writing about, because I see that I'm getting better
Yeah,
at what
there's
I
like
do.
growth,
Yeah,
which
that
is super
there's-
nice.
which is also strange because then I'll read back some things and I'm like, it almost feels like fake. I'm like, did I like make did I like plagiarize this? Like, it's actually kind of good. And like, it doesn't like, no, like, which I've never, ever had that with anything that I've written before.
Yeah, you've read,
so-
I remember even like 2021 when we were in, where were we for Christian's birthday? You read something that you had written. Even I was shocked because you hadn't read anything you'd written in a long
where was
time.
that?
And it was more of like a personal
Was it Big
essay.
Bear?
It was right next to fucking
Mount Baldy or some
Mount
shit.
Baldy or whatever the fuck. And you read it, and you didn't tell me it was yours, and you read it, and I was like, dude, that was so good. What is that? And you were like, I wrote that. And I remember being like, obviously, I like your writing, but
Yeah.
that was like a moment where I was like, oh,
There's
what?
just like an obvious like growth there.
yeah, it
that
was like a
I-
huge jump. And
know what
then
happened.
my second question is, what is your ideal writing setup that actually works? Like, when is that? Where are you? Because I feel like for a lot of people, and just like this goes to any like creative work in general, there's this idea like Drew and me have like our desk with all our pens and papers and all these things, but how often do you actually sit there and like use all those things in that space you've gathered? What is your actual
Process.
setup? Like, do you feel like you have to set up the moment, or does it just usually?
It usually like I feel like on a day to day, things will pop in my head and I'll like jot it down, and whether it's my notebook or like my notes app in my phone. But if I'm like really wanting to write, I try not to sit at my desk or I try not even to be home, period, because there's so many distractions. I mean, like literally when I was finishing film for her, I went to Paris. At the time, I didn't know anyone in Paris. And I was like, there is nothing to distract me here. Because you fucking text me and you're like, let's go to Whole Foods, and I'm on my way.
Yeah.
Like any little thing I'll go to. So it's usually not home. My desk is more reserved for like revising and putting it into something. But if I am writing at home, it's usually at night in my bed before I go to sleep, just to kind of like
Yeah.
wrap up the day.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's a sweet.
Who are your favorite authors?
I mean, right now, I've said it before. I love Annie Ernaux right now. Sylvia Plath, I love. Anais Nin. Also, that's another thing I've realized in the past like 2 years. I've not read a book written by a man. I read one.
I literally haven't either.
No, I've literally read
But I've
like
read, like,
one
2 books,
Nabokov book that wasn't Lolita. And that's it. Like
Wait,
I've
was Lolita
only-
written by a man?
Yeah. And actually it was his first, he's Russian, and Russian is his first language. And Lolita was the first book that he wrote in English, which is why it's like genuinely so, like such an intense book, because the verbiage in that book is insane. Like even
Yeah.
somebody whose first language is English, like a lot of the words that he is using is like, what the fuck?
Holy shit.
Like, you are insane. No, I read a book of his called Mary. But no, everything I've been like, Patricia Highsmith is also really good. God, what's her name? She wrote The Price of Salt, which I couldn't finish reading for obvious reasons.
The way, like,
I was gonna say you read David's Weight of the Earth.
Yeah, but that was like 3 years ago.
Oh damn.
Yeah. Which was also really good. But he's a gay man.
Yeah, I know.
That's not a
So-
man.
He's a gay man, and he
Yeah.
has, some sensibilities there.
When I like went on a deep dive of like nihilism and existentialism and all of that shit, like right after my brother died, and like it fucked me up, but also like it really did heal me in a crazy way. And I think like when I was like 16, if I picked that shit up and read that, I literally
Your
would have
brain
killed
would have
myself.
fallen out of
Like
your house.
it would
Literally.
not have been okay. But like I think that shit that's like okay for like a developed brain, especially when I was like I was hurting so badly and I was just like looking for answers, and like it was just like those were like great guides for me to like kind of just be like, oh, it kind of doesn't matter, and like if there is an afterlife, which I hope there is, I'll just see them there, or I'll just wake up in this exact same fucking life and like I won't even know I died, or like whatever it is. Like there's so many different things that I think about of the afterlife, but helped me a lot.
Maybe I should revisit that, because I read it and I was like, it almost
It's
like
just
validated
depressing.
the things that I
Yes.
was thinking, and I was like, fuck, like, can I like read something that redirects my brain in a different scenario.
One thing
Like,
about you is you're gonna fucking read. Like, I
that's
wish I could read.
Yeah.
you know, I want to
will-
read more fiction, actually.
I can't do
What is
fiction for
fiction?
some reason.
Like not like
fact?
like no,
like not
fiction
real.
is fake.
Like a fictional like I
oh.
mean, I guess like I'm trying to think in like recent. I read 2020. I read My Year of Rest and Relaxation, which is fiction, which I actually didn't think it was I didn't know it was fiction because no one knew what that book was, and I had just like stumbled upon it, and I was like, oh, fun little memoir. And I'm like, I Googled the girl. I'm like, because like she describes herself as this like blonde, blue-eyed, like gorgeous, beautiful girl, and I'm like, I need to know what this girl looks like. Halfway through the book, I look up Otessa Moshfegh, and it is absolutely the opposite of
Like the way she had described herself, just like dark hair.
Yeah, very opposite. And I was like, oh my God, this is not a real book. Like I went into this thinking that this was a memoir almost.
Dude, it is so annoying. I never finished that book because of my not finishing book syndrome, which actually two of the books I just finished were books that I like had to finish but what's so annoying is I fucking start books and I get like a third of the way in, and then I move on to another book, get a third of the way in, and then once I revisit the other book to be like, I'm gonna finish it,
You forget.
I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Like I
need
like
to,
go
like-
to the page I've like started, and then I have to restart it, and then I won't finish the book. But I didn't finish My Year of Rest and Relaxation because I started it because of you, and it just reminded me of like my depression when I was not doing exactly what she was doing, but to an extent, just like drugging myself, sleeping all day, like being depressed.
Yeah.
And I started reading it. I was like, damn, that was fun. Like, why should I do this again? Because I literally am like,
You're like, no, taking
two
notes.
dumb bitches, like,
Right,
exactly.
No, literally, no, literally.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And she like,
I've been thinking
it's also
that.
just such a repetitive book. So like,
Yeah.
yeah, I could see you not finish. I think the only thing that you finished in recent time was Consent.
Yeah, that was like the book. That was the only book that I like finished because I picked up and like drilled through everything else. I like have every book I own, I've gotten a third of the way into, and then just recently, I did it with Milk Fed. I did it with Weight of the Earth. I still haven't finished Bell
I think
Jar.
you just need a gripping story.
Yeah, I need
because all of those the things. I mean, I haven't read Milk Fed, but like I think because Consent was like it was like tea. You're reading like the Bible. Like
Yeah.
I'm like, what's next?
Yeah,
What happened?
That book I plowed through, but I did finish like Walking Through a Pool Painted Black and David's book, and then I had to restart Bell Jar in Big Sur, or not in Big Sur. Oh, I restarted it in Korea. See, maybe that's why. Maybe on our trip I'll read more because in Korea I finished Cookie's book and David's book.
yeah.
On the fucking plane and just walking around and like reading to myself. And then I had to restart fucking Bell Jar because I picked up at like page 60 and I was reading it. I was like, literally, who the fuck is she talking about right now? Like, what is happening? So I had to restart it, and restarting a book is so annoying because like I hate reading a paragraph and I'm like, bitch, I know what you're about to say.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I literally know what you're
fully.
about to say. But I'm doing the thing where I pack too many books to bring on our trip.
I will be doing the same.
But see, like Annie's books, from what you're telling me, I'm like, oh, that's getting done.
No, I think that you will finish her books.
Yeah.
I think that like her. Sorry, this has gone on for so long. This podcast.
No,
but
yours
it's
literally
so
so
okay.
okay.
I think also in the topic of even like going back when we're talking about like getting older and like will change or whatever, reading her
talk about it.
like some memoirs, she's like in her mid to late 40s, and she has the same thought process as me in my 20s, and I'm like, holy fuck, I am never growing out of this. Like I think that I'm gonna have some awakening.
revelation. One day you're just gonna wake up and be a new
and
person.
be so wise and
So
like
scary.
and emotionally
I'm stuck like this.
Yeah.
emotionally kept,
exactly,
like,
but
well-mannered.
it's okay if you aren't.
Yeah.
And also, I really love writers like Chantal Ackerman and Annie Ernaux who write such profound things with simple language, because I think that you assume in order to be a writer you have to like really woo the crowd with your like vocabulary almost, and they do a phenomenal job of making their work palatable but still profound in its own way.
Yeah, 100%. It's also like then it's playing into the idea that you also are a woman and a writer, and I feel like there's such a competition with yourself in the world and the way you want to be, you never want to be perceived as somebody who's lacking intelligence. So it's really easy to overcompensate and want to be taken seriously.
Exactly.
So it's like, I need to use big words. I need to explain this out in like extreme, like agonizing detail so that it seems like I really have thought about this, but in reality, it's not necessary.
And then you do read a book which is like very clearly like influenced by a thesaurus, and then you're like, oh, this is so pretentious. So it's like no one wins at the end of the day. But yeah.
Right. Well, we're going to do...
That was Emergency Intercom. We're going to do some media. We, like, at the end of every episode, pick out a couple songs, books, movies, shows, whatever you've been consuming media-wise. And we say them. I'll start it off. When the sun hits, slow dive. Ladies and gentlemen, we are floating in space. Spiritualized. Lover, you should have come over. Jeff Buckley. And then show. What did we watched something?
Y'all watched Black Mirror.
Yeah, we like tuned into Black Mirror the first episode, and like I don't think it was for me fully. Like it was just giving like everything everywhere all at once, like just trying to be something it's
like,
not.
You're like, I've seen it.
Yeah. And
wait,
like,
my dad posted a story. He's in New York working. Listen to the fucking song he put on his story. This is like I think my face, like obviously we're on camera, so it showed.
You cannot have the cut. Damn, he's with the shits. I was gonna talk about that this episode. I was gonna say I literally
he's tapped in.
No, he's tapped the fucking. I was gonna say this, but I was like, I'm just gonna say it for another episode. But since we're already here, when I was like 17, my buddy Tag like knew about Playboy Cardi. I'm just gonna shut the fuck up. We'll just do media and then I'll tell it in a different episode. Sorry, got teased. Basically, I went to Houston, and that's all you get. But
yeah, because that's a long story that does need to be told. I tried to say this in the last episode or the episode with Josiah, but I was high, and this is a song that's been sang by a bunch of people, but this is the version I like. Muskrat Love, Muskrat Candlelight by Willis Allen Ramsey. Mm-hmm. Take Control, Count Bass D. Wish That I Could Talk to You, The Silvers. Tick, 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 It Wears Off, Todd Rundgren, and Hello, It's Me by Todd Rundgren. That's my media.
Well, I didn't fucking prepare for this, so you guys like really suck at your jobs. I feel like I've been listening to like Someone in Love by Bjork. I Wanted It Too by Roberta Flack. Valentine by Fiona Apple. And Lana's last album. Like that is all I've really been truthfully been listening to.
Respect. You read anything recently that you're obsessed with?
Do I? Like media wise?
Just book wise.
I will repeat it again. I'm in my Annie or No kick. I've read like 5 of her books this year, and I'm on my 5th at the moment. And yeah.
Lit.
Well, thank you so much for being on.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
I feel bad because I feel like this was me, and I'd be like, yes, exactly.
Yeah, it was.
Well, that's low key why I was like hesitant, because I'm like, that's what's gonna happen.
No, we talked about it before, and I was like, no, I'm literally so okay. Like literally, I just want Orion on so people can see her brain inside her head and see this version that we get to see and love. So I was more than happy to just sit back and chill. Also, y'all are just the girls. Like, that's what it is.
I know. I feel like that's most of our hangouts anyways. Me and Orion be like, boo.
And Drew's like, no, I thought that too.
Yeah, exactly. No, literally.
But yeah, thank you so much for being on.
Thanks for having me.
I think it was an awesome episode. And thank you guys for watching.
Peace and love and unity and respect. Now let's go. Boom.